What what is this video about? I don't entirely know. This is a mysterious one because I'm really unsure as to what this is about. However, there may be something here because there's no need to make it, and that's a good clue. So I was thinking about bodily things. Oh yeah, relationality. Relationality. Is that a word? If you relate to something, then you have a relationship with that object, with that person, with that thing, like an object in that sense. The subject relating to an object. Relationality then implies a relationship. And a relationship with an object implies there is an object. A relationship with an object also implies that there is a relationship. So there are two things at play. There's a relationship and there's an object. So the subject can have these two things in its grasp, so to speak. A subject, an object, and a relationship. I'll say it's two things because those are the things the subject has, I suppose. The object, therefore, has a double side. There's two things at play. There's the object and there's a relationship to the object. And sometimes I think those can get a little bit confused. If you foster a relationship, what that means is that you're working on someone. What does that mean? You're working on someone means you're helping to make the relationship better. That means that you and that object are related somehow. What does that mean, that you're related? Does it mean you're working on common goals? Does it mean that your self and the other self melt? If so, what does that mean if you're relating to an object? I believe object-oriented ontology, Graham Harman's work, touches on this, but I should read it more. I can't remember what he went into, but I think that it goes into such topics. But so one of the topics I'm curious about is that I think he talks about is what happens when you relate to an object, like an actual, like non-person object, or an object that you don't assign personhood to, that you don't consider a person. Isn't there something similar happening? Yourself and the object's self, the object's sort of inner constitution, and your kind of sense of your inner enfoldment, of you folding into a single being, this sense of self, of a unity between all the different parts of stuff that happens in your subjective experience. All of your subjective experience coagulated into some sort of a unit. That self and the self of the object, all of the sort of structure of that object, melting into one another, which might also mean kind of metaphorically being linked. I think, again, Graham Harman, I think, also speaks about metaphor a lot. So this is just a sign that I should read more Graham Harman. I will. I hope so. But Graham Harman also speaks about metaphor. So maybe this was all just like object-oriented ontology stuff. But if so, it's really interesting. I think how that maybe metaphor, what we call metaphor, is a way in which two selves melt into one another. I should read Graham Harman again. I think that's the conclusion of this video, basically. Is relationship a sort of melting of selves in a metaphorical way or sense? Metaphorical sense. It's probably more than that. Well, it's not just probably more than that. I think it's inexhaustible. The definition I'm giving of these things is inexhaustible. Like, I'm just giving one definition upon a myriad, infinite sort of potential definitions that you could give to these phenomena. But yeah, I don't know. Is that good enough?